In this episode, I'm going to take this Parma controller, just 2.5 ohms, and put a new resistor in it. I'll show you how to tinker with it and make it run real good. Hello HO Race fans, this is Kevin Vito Man 50, where we help you with tech, tips, and solutions with online video. If you're new to this channel, thanks for stopping by and definitely subscribe. We do videos like builds, information, and performance upgrades. Now on to the video. Okay, here we are back on the hopper mat again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I bought a new resistor for my economy Parma controller, and this one here is one we've already done. This is a turbo controller. This has got, it's double stacked compared to this one is a single stack. This is a 45, which I've been running most of them now since I bought these. This is more higher grade. What is the body is the aluminum body, like this part here goes all the way down into the whole main body of the controller. You can see where it goes right down inside here. It's got like a ball bearing style trigger, and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit of some tricks how to make this controller a smoother operating controller. If you hear, it's a very loud controller because it scrapes against the resistor, and plus it needs a little oil and everything. I got this one at the last car show, and I'm going to show you how to tear it apart and put this. This is a 60, and this here is, we figured out, I think it's a 25, this one here is. Okay, first things first is what you do is you take your resistor and take some 180 sandpaper and do a figure 8. Make sure it's on the flat part of the resistor. See how it's a flat here, and feel it. Make sure there's no dips or divots or it catches your skin or anything. And what you do is you take it flat and you do a figure 8 with it to make sure it sands it even. Is what you do. You want to do a figure 8 with it. And what you're doing is you're trying to smooth this metal out just a little bit. What it is when you pull the trigger, it makes this edge a little smoother, and you're not grabbing anything on the controller. You're not grabbing it sticking or having any problems with it sticking anywhere. Let's take the mat off because it's kind of not letting it lay flat. So I'm going to take the mat off for now. We'll put that back up later. Get it on a nice flat surface. Okay. Don't push real hard. All you want to do is sand it just a little bit. All you're doing is kind of sand the wires so it's nice and smooth is all you're doing. Yeah, that's nice and smooth. Then what you do is you take some 320 and do the same thing. Just do a nice figure 8. Make sure you're getting all the high spots off of the controller resistor. This is your resistor. This is what makes the controller work. This is the brain of the controller. Okay? There you go. Nice and smooth, nice and flat. Nice to the touch. It's not, there's nowhere it's grabbing anywhere. So we're done there. Nice and smooth. Okay? So we take your controller. Now on a Parma controller, you can see where it's got the nut head here and here, and on this side. These are the nuts, but it captures on both sides. So if you're left-handed or right-handed, wherever it's easy for you. I'm left-handed, so it's much easier for me to go the other way. You can see the wires are not in here well, so it's separating the controller a little bit. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to tear this one apart. There you go. See how it split apart real easy? So in other words, the wires are kind of, you know, in here incorrectly. They're kind of too tall. Now, compared these ones to this one, these ones, on most ones I've seen so far, the top two are longer than the bottom ones. See how they're a little bit longer, not dramatically, but they're a little bit longer. So make sure you put the two top ones back in their original spot. Let me see this one. I hope it's not stripped. Nah, it's fine. Just drop the nut out of the bottom, pull them out, and again, see that? The top ones are longer than the bottom. This is the bottom one, and these are the two top ones. So it's a little longer that way. Wow, this one looks kind of burnt. Okay, what happens is, if you got the wrong controller, what happens is the car accelerates either not enough here, and accelerates too fast here, so by the time you're almost floored, now it's accelerating dramatically, or it's accelerating right off the bat and not accelerating into back end. Okay, you see where they're soldered on here. Okay, so you could take the whole controller apart. The controller comes apart. Now the difference in this one here is it goes down. This whole piece is aluminum, and it's more of a cooling. Does a cooling action. It goes all the way down at the bottom of the handle. It comes all the way down here at the bottom of the handle. Okay, so first things first, we turn it over. And one thing too that you guys might want to keep an eye on. This says dynamite for the wire, but what this is more of a silicone wire, where this is a plastic wire. So this is a very hard wire, where this is a real soft wire. It's pliable and real soft. You see it goes right in the back there, and then once you get these correct, you want to try to keep them as flat as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to desolder it here and here, because what's going to happen is when this goes on, that's your tabs it's going to solder onto. And it's hollow down the center. It's hollow down the center because there's a nut, a bolt and a nut that goes down the center. It's what it is. So what you do is let's desolder it first. So heat this up and get this off of here. Might take a little bit of time, so we'll be careful because it gets hot. See, it's melting solder. Boom, one done. Okay, this is the back one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one around here, and I'm going to try to keep these as flat as possible. So I'm going to do this is the back one, just to keep it out of the way. And we'll desolder this one. And you can keep the solder on the wire, it's not going to hurt. You could reuse this solder over again. Let's get this on here. Now, I haven't been a good solderer, but I've been learning. Eric from the Race Club's been teaching me a lot about soldering. He's helped me a lot. And I've pretty much been doing a lot of soldering, and it's been a huge benefit to learn how to solder to do all this stuff. There you go, it's starting to melt again. Boy, the wire gets hot. There we go. And that's the front one. Okay. Do not remove the back one here. There's no reason for it. It's kind of like a ground for the main part of the ground for everything. And the back one, usually this here is the brake. So I just hooked it to the red one here for the brake. There you go. Okay, so take a pair of pliers, grab hold of the nut, and then here you go here with a screwdriver, break it loose. Done. Take the nut off. And there you go. Old one out of here. And you can see the difference. The wire, this one's more finer than this one. The wires are further apart and it's not as fine. This one, the wire is tighter together. So this is 60 ohm. A 40 ohm is a little bit looser than this, not dramatically. But if you see how tighter the wire is, this one has less wires on it, so it's going from here to here takes, you know, less, so it's, you know, it's less ohms, where this is more of a finer wire. And then this one here was touching here, it looks like. See how this one's kind of junk because there's really no, probably heating it didn't help nothing, but there's nothing like this one here has a backing on it. Now I've seen guys take the JB Weld and JB Weld the whole back of it and all the way around here and just leave this part of it exposed so this doesn't break loose when it's under solder or anything like that. This is just to hold everything together. The one I had in my other controller, this one broke. This piece broke, and I had to kind of move it back, and I put a little glue in there to make sure it wasn't, you know, moving around. But there you go. Now, as you see, this thing here and this one's here pretty rough. But we can always make that, we can always put this back together after we do that and make sure this is straight in there, and take a little piece of sandpaper, and while this is in here running across here like this is what makes it run. As you see, this is off and this is full blast. Okay, make sure it's in there flat, and we could take a piece of sandpaper between the resistor and the contact and sand that contact to make it cleaner. See, it's kind of not as clean. We can clean that up, and it needs a little bit of oil. So we'll take just a little bit of oil and we'll hit this here, which looks like a roll pin. Get it there and on the other side of the roll pin. Okay. Okay, there you go. See, much difference. It does much difference. Okay, until next time. Okay, as you see, the Parma Controller is not really that difficult. It splits right in half. It comes apart and shows it now. I thought that was a 2.5 and here it's a 4.0 resistor, but it was a piece of junk. I mean, the car wouldn't run hardly at all. Only time it would run is when you floored it. That's more for like the bigger cars and some of the drag vehicles. Until next time, keep your pin on the slot. Okay, everybody, we got these couple packages yesterday, so I figured I'd open today and just show you guys what I got. This here, yep, this here is the little boxes that I got to put some of those motors into. Let's see here, kind of tear them open. Got an adult-proof package on it, so this is a smaller version of my controller boxes. Comes with screws and everything. I'm gonna take those motors I got and mount them in here like so. Well, one like this, like so, and I just have the. Well, I can put the bottom on it like this to enclose it, and like I said again, I'll show you guys what I'm doing. But I got these boxes. They're Hammond. They're a little about 4.5 by 1.2 by 2.5. So they're about 1.2 inches this way. A little more, a little less than 4.5 by 2.5 wide is what they are. They're plastic enclosures. I got these on Amazon. I got them. I'm an Amazon Prime member, so they came quick.